and we look forward to your input. I'm going to turn it over now to Pattie Jacobus, who will be making a presentation on the East Coast Greenway. Thank you.
Thanks, Jerry. Yeah. And I'm going to step back here so you can see slides. I will ask. Yeah. Also. Oh. Oh. Okay. I can do that. Oh, it's. Oh. Okay. I thought it was a microphone.
Could I get the gentleman right there to move back a little bit so for the
and also, there's a sign-in sheet. If everyone can sign it, that would be great. I'm Pattie Smith Jacobus, and the reason I'm even involved in this trail project is because I'm associated with Simsbury Free Bike. How many people have heard of it? Oh, yeah. Yay. Thank you. It grew from a six bike project into 50 bikes throughout the whole Farmington Valley along our beautiful Farmington Canal Heritage Trail. We don't have a location in Tariffiville. We would love to have one in Tariffiville, but we don't want to send anyone down 315, bike or body. So the reason that we're here tonight is to talk about what I consider to be a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to get a connection from Simsbury through Tariffiville that will become a designated East Coast Greenway route, which has all kinds of economic implications for the town of Simsbury and the borough or village of Tariffiville. I am also on the Bike Ped Advisory Committee, which is a group of incredible people that have gotten together, and they are the ones that got Simsbury recognized as Connecticut's first bike-friendly community and as Connecticut's first silver bike-friendly community. Believe me, it is a huge undertaking, but because of a lot of vision by a lot of the people in Simsbury that went way before us in terms of getting some of those first shared use paths put together and some of our connections, we had the bones to get it done, and then we had a lot of great people working on it. So that's why I'm here. I'm tied to bikes in that way. But this opportunity to come through Tariffiville, I think that has lots of details that everybody in this room needs to really understand. It changes the quality of life in your town in a very, very good way. We have lots of examples on how that's happened across the country. The first thing always when it comes to the bike trails and our kids on bikes and our seniors on bikes and us on bikes is safety. We all know what 315 looks like. We all know what it's like in a car. We've all seen people trying to bike on it. It's not ideal. So one of the things that we're really working to do as a committee, Bike Ped Committee, is connect all of our villages in Simsbury. You know we have 5 villages, the town center, Tariffiville. Tom Roy will talk at some point, maybe I can get him to talk a little bit about some of the great work he's done connecting neighborhoods to the main trail safely. So when you put your child, your grandchild onto a bike, you know that they've got a safe route and they don't have to be on a road getting into going to the library, going to a soccer game, or whatever it might be. So being able to do that is really key. We also are very interested in building healthy communities. And by healthy communities, we mean people who might not ordinarily get on a bike because there's nowhere safe to ride, might actually take a chance on a bike, get back on after many years. So there's a real link between healthy communities and bike trails. We think that some of the work that's been done in other parts of Simsbury would be ideal for Tariffiville. We just don't have the connections in place right now to do it. And one of those things is the Safe Routes to School program. Deb Thibodeau, who's sitting here, has been one of the big drivers for Safe Routes to School. The only one in Simsbury that isn't doing it is Central and Tariffiville. But during May, which is National Bike Month, we have all the kids from all of our elementary schools walking and biking to school. It is a sight to see. Parents come, the kids come, they have a great time because now there are a lot of safe routes that have been designated by the folks that are working on this committee. So healthy communities is a big piece of it. I don't have to point out how the sizes of television have gotten smaller and we've gotten bigger because we're doing a lot of sitting and watching TV and playing video games. Getting out on a bike or even walking is a great solution. You can go to the next slide. This is just a picture of things that we see down the hill from Tariffiville. The folks that you see on the left there are people who are on a once-in-a-lifetime trip. Some young folks that are traveling the entire East Coast Greenway. They stopped in Avon at one of our bike distribution centers. We had a chance to chat with them. These are really avid bikers, young people. That's the kind of thing that would be happening coming through Simsbury, through Tariffiville, if the East Coast Greenway came through here. That's the front of Fitzgerald's. These are what we call our Sunday riders, people who maybe don't own a bike, but want to get out on the trail for the first time or sort of get back into biking. If you're a Yankees fan, don't hold it against us. Larry promises that he'll have a Yankee bike next year. And then the lovely ladies in the bottom right-hand corner are some folks that I met on the trail last summer, and they actually started back on bikes using Simsbury free bikes that they got from Fitzgerald's. And they couldn't go more than a half a mile when they started. They now meet at 9 o'clock in the morning, most mornings, and the gal on the right, her name is Carmen, was quick to show me her picture on her iPhone of having lost 60 pounds now that she has this biking group that she's out riding with. And they could not stop chattering about how much they loved the social part of it and the physical part of it. And this is not just the spandex crowd that you see running down the street and you're behind them and you can't pass. There are so many aspects to the whole bike walk effort that's going on in Simsbury and really around the country. So I hope that as we get further into these discussions, and the first thing we want to do is tell you the value. Lisa touched on the value, the economic value, which is enormous. All boats rise when there's more people and money coming into the town, with people buying lunch and stopping at the grocery store and Peppermill. Anybody know where Peppermill is? They certainly benefited from all the bikers coming through. Red Riding Hood's basket. I mean, it's been wonderful. So before we start looking at all these options and these maps, I think it's really important that everyone in here has we're sort of set the table for you as to what is happening in Connecticut, what is the trail plan, how far does it travel, how much of it is completed, and what is the East Coast Greenway, and how does the Tariffiville connection that we're talking about tonight, it seems like a little piece compared to the big story we're going to tell you. It's very important to Tariffiville, but it fits into a much larger trail landscape. So Bruce Donald from the Farmington Canal Heritage Trail and Molly Henry from the East Coast Greenway. I think that's the next slide. No, this is Tom Roy's slide, sorry. Tom, can you just talk to that, please? Where is he? Oh, you're right. That's work that you've done.
Well, I think what Patty's trying to say is not work that I've done, but work that the town's accomplished while I've been here. Really, it's been a community effort. It's been a group effort. As so many of the things that we're going to talk about tonight have been, no one thing here has been accomplished by any one single individual. If you look at Simsbury Free Bike, for example, it's a whole collection of individuals that show up and give their time. When you look at some of the connectivity here, Rich Sawitsky, who's our retired town engineer, who's going to be speaking later because I don't think he understands what retirement really means. He was the one who really helped push the Owens Brook project forward. Jerry Toner and Jeff Shea both worked tirelessly on getting the West Mountain Trail connected, which, if you're familiar with West Simsbury, connects West Mountain Road over to Town Forest Park and really ties you in then all the way into Simsbury Center through the various trails and roadway network there. We did the share road routes that you've seen throughout town. There's going to be more share road routes coming. The share road routes are a beautiful way of just giving recognition to those on-road cyclists, those little bit more of the spandex crowd, as Patty said. Makes it a little bit more clear that this is where they should be riding their bike, and as a car, you need to understand that those are areas that we expect bikes to be. It's simply an advisory symbol, but it's something that we've done to enhance the overall safety of bicycling in Simsbury. We've done a lot with dedicated bike lanes, and we've also been doing a lot with wayfinding signage. We want people to know where Tariffiville is. We want people to know where the center of Simsbury is, and we're really trying to make sure that as people use the trail for all of the purposes, not just biking, but also walking and running and with the dogs, that they know what services and other amenities Simsbury and Tariffiville in the future will have to offer.
I think as we start talking about obviously what a bike-friendly community is, and Tom touched on it, it was the committee driving it, but it was not without the help of our police department, our public works group. A lot of our local businesses were very involved in this. Our school system now has bike safety education built into the PE curriculum in all the elementary schools. So there's been a lot that's gone into it. Simsbury was the first. You can see some of the other towns that are quickly following suit, and they realize the economic benefit of becoming a bike-friendly community because it draws people, draws young families into town, and they pay property taxes. They keep your property taxes low. This is a wave that's taking the country over. It's a combination of wellness and probably the most important thing, the piece that I like, if you go down to Iron Horse Boulevard, you'll see that any day of the week, almost any time of day, you go down to Iron Horse Boulevard and it's like Main Street USA from 40 years ago. There are people down there walking their dogs. There's people out walking with strollers. There are people, walking groups that are down there and runners. It is how people gather. These trails are magnets for gathering people together. It becomes very, very social. So I think the next piece of this, before we start talking about the actual route options, is to give you a piece of what the East Coast Greenway looks like and how your little piece in Tariffiville fits into it, and also what's happening in Connecticut. And Molly Henry is the New England coordinator for the East Coast Greenway, and she's going to walk you through what's been happening.